almost non-existent in many areas.
So all this talk about the culture wars makes me think of an unusual arena in which the culture wars have erupted, and that is the National Football League. And Tim Tebow and his very public expressions of faith. I've heard some Christian leaders say that they think his expressions of faith are too ostentatious, not private enough.
The fact that this has become controversial shows how far we're moving away from where America was 50 years ago, much less 100 or 200 years ago. The fact that Tebow would get criticized for kneeling and praying, I could give you 15 or 50 other things you should be more worried about in that Coliseum than a kid kneeling down to thank God that he played good.
You know this, we asked viewers to submit questions.
Yeah.
Brian Norris tweets that we should ask you if you believe faith in Jesus Christ is the only way to heaven.
I do believe that, and I believe that because Jesus said it. See, I don't set myself up as an authority. Jesus said, I am the way. He didn't say I'm one of the ways. He said, I'm the way, I'm the truth, and I'm the life. I'm betting my life that Jesus wasn't a liar.
You do a lot of interfaith. Muslims, Jews, Catholics.
Yeah. And have a lot of friends of other faiths.
Why would a benevolent God tell those friends of yours who are not evangelical Christians, I'm sorry you don't get to go to heaven?
I don't think any of us deserve to go to heaven. I think the only way any of us get into heaven is God's grace. Most of us think, well, if my good works are higher than my bad works, then I'm going to kind of make it in. And most of us want to have enough works to get it, good works to get into heaven, but enough bad works to be fun. But the bottom line is God doesn't grade on a curve. People say, well, I'm better than so-and-so. You probably are. In fact, I have no doubt many non-believers are better than me in certain moral issues. They probably are more, have more integrity or something like that. I'm not getting to heaven on my integrity. I'm not getting to heaven on my goodness. I'm getting to heaven on what I believe Jesus said is grace. And the fact is, it's available to everybody.
A lighter question about heaven. On Facebook, we were asked to ask you, do dogs go to heaven?
I've been asked that 100 times. And my answer is, there's no verse in the Bible on this. Yes. Absolutely yes. I can't imagine God not allowing my dog into heaven.
What about cats?
Sure, why not?
Lastly, I interviewed you 4 years ago. I'm interviewing you again today. There's less of you.
Yes, I'm not half the man I used to be.
You look good. What happened? What's the secret?
Jake, that's a funny story. About a year ago, I was doing a baptism. On that particular day, I baptized 864 people. It took me about 4 hours to do this. Now, at 150 pounds a person, I'm putting them underwater. That's about 50,000 pounds that I'm, dunking. Along about number 500, I had a thought. It wasn't a very spiritual thought. It was, man, we're all fat. And I thought, well, wait a minute. I'm fat. I'm a terrible example of this. This is not your father's saddleback. We've been putting on weight. So I thought, I can't ask people to get in shape unless I do. And I'm a terrible model at this. And I really didn't care what I looked like. So I didn't take care of my body. I just didn't. And I ate all I wanted. I was a purpose-driven eater. So we found a passage of scripture about Daniel in the book of Daniel where he ate healthy food and the king's people ate bad food and Daniel's people got healthy. And I said, we're going to call this the Daniel plan. I figured maybe 200 people in my church would sign up for this. 12,000.
12,000.
12,000. In the first year, I've lost 60 pounds, and our church has lost over 250,000 pounds.
250,000, that's a whole mega church itself.
It's a mega church. I said, I'm looking for the day I can say that we've lost the equivalent of a jumbo jet.
Well, you look good. Good luck with the rest of the diet, and good luck and Happy Easter.
Thank you. Happy Easter.
You can find more of our interview with Pastor Warren at abcnews.com/thisweek, including his reaction to the Trayvon Martin shooting and his congregation's ambitious peace plan, which he's taking to every country on the globe. Plus, later in the show, a very personal conversation with Rick Warren and his wife, Kay, on how they've overcome the struggles in their own lives. But up next, our Powerhouse Roundtable weighs in on all the week's politics. Mitt Romney is all but the Republican nominee, so why won't his rivals quit?
It's halftime. And who's ready to charge out of the locker room in Pennsylvania for a strong second half?
And the controversy at the home of the Masters golf tournament. Are critics right to be teed off?
The Augusta National Golf Club is being criticized. They have a long-standing policy of only allowing men to be members of their club. People don't seem to understand. The reason they don't admit women in the club has nothing to do with sexism. They're just trying to keep them away from Tiger Woods.